welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and this time around we are going to talk about something special, of course SailfishOS related in this case, and what we are going to talk about is what is a community port, and should you care about that or shouldn't you, and which kind of people should care about it, more or less, is more or less what we are going to talk about. And there's a recent event that triggered this review because there's a new port for the Sony Xperia 1 and 5, which are smartphones that are not officially supported by Yola, but are very close related to the official ones. So in the end there's a new port for that, and it's of course a community port. What is a community port? A community port is more or less a port of SailfishOS, so some kind of a, let's say version of SailfishOS that is going to be put on, for instance, in this case, one of the other smartphones that is not currently available as an officially supported smartphone. And to show you what I'm going to talk about here is more or less a good introduction for this. This page, of course, this is more or less a new thing that got out today. And it's more or less a very recent build, so we have the most recent version of SailfishOS on this, and it is for the Sony Xperia 1 and 5. Those are more or less the flagship smartphones from Sony, or better to say a higher end version. So as you already know, I already got the Sony Xperia 10 II, which is this one, and I already got the Sony Xperia 10 III, Mark III, and those are more or less the current mid-ranges from Sony relating the normal smartphone market. But there are of course other ones, which are, for instance, the Xperia 1 and the Xperia 5. Don't get confused that 10 is a higher mark than 5 or 1. It's the other way around. So the highest end one is more or less the Xperia 1 in this case. And in the end, what you are going to see here is that it's possible to bring, of course, Sailfish to those devices, but there are a couple of different, let's say, downfalls or disadvantages about that that you should be aware of if you want to try this out. Okay, so big kudos to Theodem, whatever that is called, sorry for mispronouncing that if I did, and that he brought this probably pretty complex process to work, and it's really a great thing that people are doing this. There are a couple of other smartphones available too. It's a little bit hard to find those sometimes, so if you have a look at the internet, you're going to find, for instance, this list, which is a very outdated one, just to let you know. But in the end you can already see what's going on here. So we got a couple of different branches, or better to say brands, which are going to show different kinds of possibilities on the smartphones with SailfishOS. So all of these are more or less ports that have been created by community members, and those are on the different smartphones you see here. But as you can see, many of them are pretty old. So we are just going to jump over and go to one of the newer ones, which is in the end, for instance, one from 2019, should be somewhere here. So for instance, this one is from 2019, and it is one of the more recent ones in this list. As mentioned before, we just got the Xperia 1 and 5 port, which is not in this list at the moment, of course. But as you can see, they are showing a couple of different informations about what is supported and what is not supported. So, for instance, it is supported to have, of course, it displays the touch stuff, and Bluetooth and stuff like that is in this case for the Xperia 10 Dual supported for the community build. Just to let you know, there might be an official one for this one too, but the community build is only supporting this. It might not work with fingerprints, that's undecided for some reason, but most of the things are supported here. But very important, be aware that Android support is not officially supported by any of those community ports. This is very important to know, because the officially supported Android support is only available in the official devices, so more or less the Xperia 10 Mark II, Mark III, and some of the other ones you can see in the Yola store, for instance, and in other screens, whatever you want to talk about there or see there. So those have that. In the Yola store, most of them have that. So be very aware that you have to click on SailfishOS in this case, and then you're going to get a couple of different devices which are going to support this. For instance, those you see here should be able to run this. But again, Yola devices has a couple of devices too which don't have the fully support. For instance, the Volla phone itself, at least from the information I'm currently aware of, because they are trying to get that to work, but in the end, what I'm fully aware of is that the Volla phone is running SailfishOS if you want to, so you can select which kind of smartphone OS you want on the Volla phone, which is a pretty nice thing. I have another video where I'm talking about that more in depth, but the one that is supported for now, I think, is just the community free edition of SailfishOS, and that doesn't bring the Android support. So, what does that mean more or less? It means that in the end, if you are a developer, for instance, or you are somebody who is just enthusiast, whatever, and want to play with it, it's a great thing to try out. So please try the new one out. We already saw there. Let's go there. This is very, very important work that he did there, and really, really interesting that he could do that. And it's done more or less by getting the free SDK of Sailfish to, I don't know if I have it there. So SailfishOS is giving you the tools to do stuff like that with their development kit, more or less. So you can go and write your own port for one of the devices you wish to go for, and you can try it out and try to get it here, release it in, for instance, this little central hub stuff there. It's outdated too, so. But in the end, you can do that. You can just bring the smartphone in there and get it community port out by yourself if you're a developer. So try it out if you want to. Other than that, of course, for a normal person that is not a developer or something, that is not really an option to port something to a smartphone. But in the end, it might be one for you if you want to. And more or less, those informations are given by SailfishOS for that. So just try it out if you want to port your own one, as for instance in this case Theodon did, and that is a great thing. So thank you very much for that, and it is really a nice addition to the SailfishOS family. And other than that, I would say there's not too much to talk about here. And just to let you know, I didn't mention it before, we are on my laptop at the moment because we need a more modern browser than what the Xperia 10, not the Xperia 10, sorry, the Lumia 950 XL here is currently supporting. So in the end, we are using my laptop for this now. In this case, I'm going to switch over for the other episodes, of course, to the 10 here if I can, but whatever. And the interesting thing about this is just this new edition here. Just try it out. And as mentioned before, SailfishOS supports people who are trying to bring out, or better say, Yola supports people who are trying to bring out the community ports to different smartphone systems. And if you want to try it out, just try it out. And so is a community port something for you? I would say if you're not an enthusiast or you're not a developer who is trying out stuff or just want to try stuff out, it's fine if you are starting right now. But be very aware that it's an alpha build in this case, so you are going to face problems with it. It's very likely not a great idea to use it as a daily driver for now. At least at the start you shouldn't do that. after a while you might be able to consider that, but at the start you might not want to do that. And yeah, you get more or less all the informations in this article here if you want to go and try to port this over to your smartphone or just give it a try. It only works if you have the Xperia 1 or the Xperia 10, of course, yeah, or the Xperia 5 in this case. So be very aware of that. Only those smartphones are going to support this port here, and so try it out. If you want to have a look at the different links here, I will put them down below into the description box, so just click there. I'm going to give you the information there. If you have any kind of problems, questions, whatever, yeah, I highly would suggest that you are posting here or in the commentary section down below. I'm trying to give you any information I can about all this. And as I said, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Give this video a thumbs up, and of course, if you didn't subscribe to the channel till now is the time to do it. Just press the button down below. It's going to help us all, and that is great for everybody, and it doesn't cost you anything. So thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Have a great time, have a great day till the next episode, and bye bye.